How y'all feeling, Bears Nation, about this win? I think I love the defense the most, man. Defense, great running, and quarterback that won't screw the game up. Yeah, they won in spite of Caleb Williams today, man. Everybody saw it. Everybody watched it. Let's not freak out and just people be like, "Oh, G Walker, you overanalyzing Caleb," or no. We all watched the game in 4K, man. This is not necessarily something that we see Caleb Williams and we're just going to dog him. We're going to talk about him whether he plays well, he plays bad, whether Ben Johnson calls bad plays, or Dennis Allen's not doing the same thing. As far we got Marcus saying definitely the score in the red zone, but the development of the run game will benefit us throughout the season and going forward, bear down. Yeah. She said no, Caleb looked terrible. I mean, Spencer Rattler looked worse with multiple pitches. Yeah, it was like a ass fest. A trash fest. Like guys were just trash. Guys were just trash, man. Guys were just terrible today. Can't win every game off Caleb's arm. I mean, how many games have we won because of Caleb, though, man? Let's be honest. How many games have we won because of Caleb's arm? That's not the thing about us depending on Caleb. There's plenty of examples of us not depending on Caleb. It's the run game. It's the defense. It's the play call. It's Ben Johnson. It's the offensive line. There's plenty of examples where he's looking like a part of the system instead of being the system. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing to be. But when you're watching these games up close and personal, you got to really be transparent about what you're looking at, bro. The quarterback, how he's playing right now, is not well, man. It's not good. He ended the game with a 56% completion passer rating, bro. 56%. 56%, man. So what does that tell me? And what does that tell you? Since y'all want to talk about Caleb, I didn't want to start off talking about Caleb, but y'all pretty much run the show as fans. Let's talk about Caleb. If y'all want to bring him up, y'all want to talk about him, can't win every game off his arm. Let's talk about Caleb Williams today then. Let's talk about him, man. I was gonna say this for last, but y'all want to talk about Caleb Williams? Let's talk about Caleb Williams. Let's go ahead. Kick it off, Nicholas. No, you want to talk about him? Talk about him. The floor is yours, bro. The floor is yours, man. Oh, now y'all want to get quiet. Oh, okay. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. Because your quarterback today was won in spite of, man. We won in spite of Caleb Williams at home with a good running game, with a great defense, with the defense getting turnovers, getting takeaways. Your quarterback was won in spite of, bro. And it's one bad game. I'm not sitting here trying to trash Caleb. That's not it. I've never trashed Caleb. I had Caleb as my offensive MVP tonight. Me. You have to eventually take the next step, bro. You got to take the next step, bro. Because the excuses are going to run out. Yeah, we're Bears fans, and we're starving for wins. We'll take the wins how we get them, but let's move on to a certain point as a fan base and look at things critically, transparently, and honestly. For one game, let's do that. But we got my man Shad in here, man. We got Shad in here with me, bro.
What's
Shad,
happening?
how you feeling, bro?
What's good, G?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I didn't want to come in here and talk about Caleb right away, man. But the fans,
Let's not.
They want to talk. Hey, look, they want to talk about him, bro. So it is what it is, man. He did not play well today. What's your shot? Your thoughts, Shad? We won in spite of him, which is fine to me because sometimes your quarterback don't have it going. But we've been looking at Caleb.
Need life on offense. And one of the pregame notes was Olave or Odunze. And at that point, it was wash either way. But guess who boxed open? Olave.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler looked better than Caleb Williams today, bro. That's me being a buck, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He definitely looked better than Caleb, man.
I didn't want to do that, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. It's just that, we got more people talk. Hold on, we got more comments. Let me read some of these comments, man. And then I'm gonna bring up the they might be getting ready to do a press conference, man. So let me get ready to pull up the press conferences.
Craig Raston says Caleb was doing Caleb things. See, that's becoming to be something that's measured with people understanding what that means, bro. And that's what we did with Trubisky. And that ain't a good sign. It's not a good sign, bro.
Right. And that's what we've been saying. Like you were saying, it's like, man, at some point we rooting for this dude to be the guy. We would look. Shot was able to take from this game was as long as he can sustain drives. It went from him scoring and throwing touchdowns to just sustaining drives to get a field goal or a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Like, what does that say? If I'm sitting here saying just sustain drives, like what is that? Like, what else can I ask for?
What are we talking about, man? From your number one selected quarterback, there was the number one player selected out the draft out of anybody coming out of college who was told by 90% of the social media, 90% of sports media, that he is the most transcendent player to come out of that position in a decade, at least. And after 18 plus starts, the special is not special enough. In this town, we watched Rex Grossman had the special anointed oil put on him, and we questioned him all the way through a Super Bowl ale. We supported Jay Cutler for 10 years. He had special anointed on him when he was traded from the Denver Broncos, being an all-pro at 24 years old. Never saw it here in Chicago materialize. Should I go with our own draft picks, Trubisky, Fields? We done been down that road before. You could pick at Ben Johnson having a couple mistakes as a rookie head coach today at home. He had a couple questionable decisions in terms of being tricky early in the game and wasn't necessary. You continue to
it wasn't. Yeah.
But you just wanted to be clever, and that's cool. You OC, you clever, so I get it. Faye does that shit too. You won the game. I can't bitch at it. However, you can see the frustration when his quarterback's not executing the play that he is desired to go for a play. It doesn't materialize on the field for whatever reason.
Yep. We got Nicholas saying if you watch 18 on broken plays, if you watch, he made real effort not to run. That comes from coaching. I kind of don't really understand your comment.
They didn't coach him out of running, man. He's saying that the element is for him to evade the rush but still keep his eyes downfield. He didn't complete any passes once he evaded the rush, though. The one he did complete was to Swift, and that was really because of Swift. Like, we got to stop crediting Caleb Williams for evading the rush when he runs into a lot of that shit.
Yep.
Like pocket, like to me, if you stand and square in the pocket, bro, you got to trust your tackles and your center not to get your face smashed. And you deliver the rocket from the pocket. It's a passing lane for a reason. DJ Moore gets missed more than any receiver I've seen in 5 years, bro. I mean, open. And when he get the ball, it's a hospital bill where he got to catch it and get cracked. And then that's unnecessary for your number one weapon, bro. It's unnecessary. Rome Odunze can only get the ball when he goes in motion, and it's a busted coverage. What is your quarterback not seeing with your primary weapons, man?
Yeah,
that's a problem for me at this point in the season, G. That's bothering me, bro.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna get easier, bro.
Yeah. CJ, I said you just popped up in here, man. It's just, and like I say, I didn't want to start off talking about Caleb Williams, bro. I had Dennis Allen up here to open the show. Y'all go do the playback, and y'all see how me and Shaw came in here. Just for anybody that's in here, 60 people in here, we did not start off talking about Caleb. I was going to talk about the positives of the game, but the fan base, sometimes you guys control the podcast, and that's fine. So if anybody comes in here saying, well, we getting bad on Caleb Williams, we did not start off talking about Caleb Williams, bro. That was not my intent. I was going to say the bad for last. So you guys made your bed, you laying it. We're going to rock with it, and we're going to talk about it. We got a couple of comments. We got Marshawn saying the Saints can march their ass right out of Chicago. Absolutely, they fucking can. They can get the hell out of my city. Then we got Nicholas saying 4 turnovers and a loss don't look better than me. I mean, it's not about it's about the win, bro. We want the win, but we thinking past the 4-2. We might be a fake 4-2 because at some point in time, your quarterback is going to have to lead you to victories. Like if we play against the Packers and we get 4 turnovers again, and Caleb is not putting up points, and the pocket is clean, and the wide receivers in his face, and he's not making throws, what are you saying, bro? What are you going to say? Because you can't escape the criticism for how you're playing, good or bad, bro. It is what it is. And if you're going to be a real fan, all of us, not saying you're not, but if you're a fan of Chicago Bears, it's okay to look at your quarterback in an analytical way and see what he's not good or great at. Because for me, I never really call players trash. I just say he is what he is. You know what I'm saying? Fields, never really call him trash, but guess what? He is what he is. You know, Trubisky, he was what he was. You let the people decide what those players are. So I'm not going to come out here in year 2 of Caleb Williams' career and get ready to write him off. That is something I'm not going to do. But right now, his inaccuracies is the reason why we lose, why we keep sputtering. Caleb has all the talent in the world, man. The thing that's consistent with Caleb Williams, he's a very jittery quarterback. He's very, very jittery. He's very, very anxious. And a lot of times that unravels everything. His mechanics start to mess up, and it happened again today. This is the stuff that you have to look at. It's not necessarily his arm strength. You know he can throw it. He has the ability to run. It's up here, bro. It's mental. It's not physical. 90% of football, what I was told, is mental and 10% physical. And that's more than anything when you play in the quarterback position. Do y'all understand that? This is mental, bro. CJ, you in here, man. Just what's your thoughts on the overall game? Like I said, we didn't want to talk about Caleb at first. Dennis Allen was the first graphic I put up here because the defense is the reason we won this game. But since we talking about Caleb, man, just what's your thoughts, bro? Then we're gonna get into some comments.
Man, I just want to say shout out to the defense because I don't want to say I felt Caleb wasn't gonna have a good game today, but I said it during the post game. You know, the defense is gonna have to step up, and they did. You know, shout out to the defense getting turnovers and bringing pressure. But Caleb, you know, didn't have his best game today. This is probably one of his worst games. But I don't want to keep speaking on that. You know, the positive is that the Bears defense stepped up. They won this game for us today, and shout out to them. You know, Caleb is always not going to have great games. That's why the defense is so important on playing big. You need the defense, and the running game keeps going. That's what we're talking about, that running game. The Bears didn't get away from him, and they kept going with it.
Yeah, and to speak on the running game, this man right here, bro, is pretty much putting our season and our offense on his back. The run game, for a guy that we pretty much said that he's not that great, he don't see the hole, he don't hit the hole. This is his second back-to-back 100-yard rushing game. Shout out to the offensive line for blocking enough for us to make an impact on the game through running the ball. Shout out to Cal Monunga for hitting that hole and running that ball. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the run game. Shout out to Ben Johnson for understanding I have to establish the run game first to win games right now, because my quarterback up until this point cannot stack completions. Do y'all hear me out there? Caleb Williams cannot stack completions right now. He can't do it. With a clean pocket, at a play action, Caleb Williams loves to play hero ball, bro. He wants to play that way. And if I'm Ben Johnson and I'm the head coach, I have to really look at my quarterback and say, is this a choice? Or is he being rebellious to the system? You have to see these things and understand how that looks at Ben Johnson for a guy who can pretty much tell you, hey, man, we're going to pay you or not. Right now, Caleb Williams does not look like the quarterback of the future after this first four fractions. It's not looking that way. Y'all can be upset and be emotional about it, bro, but put your mind inside of Ben Johnson, a guy that doesn't really have patience, a guy that's very blunt, a guy that's very direct. Because once you have the run game going, your defense going, your O-line going, your special teams going, your kicker going, and you look at all of that, and you looking at the quarterback, and you say we gave you 4 turnovers today. You put up 0 points with your arm. Come on, man. Don't get me started, bro. For real. We got Nicholas saying, do you think he's forcing it because he's running, because run game was rolling? I mean, hold on, we'll come back to that. She said Cal Manung guy's a beast. Yes, Cal Manung guy was balling, man, and I love it. Kevin Byard is having a great year. Chicago defense is number 1 in turnovers as of now. We got Nicholas saying Swift and O-line doing it big. Yep. We got Marshawn saying, I want Williams to focus on spreading the ball to everyone on offense, get everyone involved, run that personnel, 11 personnel offense, and keeps the defense guessing. I mean, Shy, man, you can jump into any of these comments, man, if you want to, man. Any of them you want me to just go back and stick on?
I mean, in terms of what Marshawn just said, spreading the
ball. This should be the Rome package. Like, we need to see Rome target at least three times in a row. Like, we need to see him. You know what I mean?
That's where I'm heading at, G. Because I mean, for me, your scripted when you first come out, man, and it really still scratches my head why Ben Johnson's offense doesn't come out the gate putting up 7 points within your first 2 possessions. Specifically when the defense is getting you the ball back early in games and on the other side of 50.
Right.
So for me not to see the amount of touchdowns in terms of their conversion rate, I think they less than 20% on turnovers for touchdowns. The league average is 50%, meaning like you're gonna get a touchdown more times than not if you take the ball away from the other squad. So it's something broken, man. And you know, we thought it was the Braxton Jones component in terms of breaking down and pass pro, but that doesn't seem to be the component, man. It has to be a strong look at 18 and what Ben Johnson is asking 18 to do. There are plays to be made when you go back and look at the tape, but you also can look at it from a modest eye and justify what's going on with Caleb. So it's like it can't be both. That's kind of where I'm at right now, and that's frustrating to be with the talent and the head coach supposed to be at elite level.
Yeah, and I feel you, CJ, man. We got some comments. We got Isabella saying, I mean, you can say what you want about our offensive line, but I see quarterbacks playing behind worse lines, getting less time, making better plays and better decisions with the football. Our offensive line isn't that bad, although the center had a really bad day today. Yeah, CJ, you want to attack this, man?
Yeah, I want to speak on that. I don't know what's up with Drew Dorman, but he's been
Drew Dorman, yeah.
Like,
he had a parlay today or something, bro. He had a parlay on.
But it's not only that, he's been off for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's been average for sure.
Like he's been like I don't know, man. It's like maybe the Atlanta offense
and get it out, and so you know, it's just really working for us right now, and really our team needs it. I mean, it's really been the foundation of this last 4-game stretch for us.
And Deshaun's takeaway seemed to be the spark early for you. What did you see both on the interception and on the return?
Which one? Deshaun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a great catch, and then we've really been emphasizing, because we've been getting all these, is how do we turn these into whether it's in scoring range or getting in the end zone ourselves on defense. And so all of our guys are taking a ton of pride in getting connected after an interception like that, and looking to make key blocks so that we can extend that. Shawnee hopped on up and was really, I thought he was going to go down once or twice, and he just kept on going. So you might have to give him the ball a little bit on offense as well.
And you talked about the discipline, the details, the things you want to clean up. And striking that balance of doing that, you know, what's your message to the team afterwards in terms of looking ahead and getting those things right?
Yeah, I think that's the benefit of when you win. You know, you can usually coach a little bit harder, and so we're always truth tellers on Monday in particular. And when it's good, we'll tell them when it's good. When it's bad, we'll tell them what we got to clean up. And so there's a number of things there today that we can get better at.
I see a little reversion, following up to that question, in terms of some of the sloppiness overall.
Say it again.
Sloppiness, did you see a little bit of reverting back to some of the issues?
You're always being sloppy.
I would say I was hopeful that Game 6 we would play cleaner football than that.
Any sense of what happened on the 4th and goal? There was missed exchange, but then it was a false start.
Yeah, they blew it dead, false start, so moved us back and ended up kicking.
You know what happened with Caleb and Drew there?
No.
It was just the two drives from the defense were wrapped around halftime. They kind of let the bench get away. How disappointing was that when you guys were dominating the game and looking for the halftime buzzer?
Yeah, I mean, I put the before half on us offensively as much as giving up that big play on defense. You know, we had that 3 and out. We had control of possessing that ball before halftime, and we didn't do a good enough job. I think that's 2 weeks in a row there. We've had a 3 and out before halftime. Something that we practice, something that we really stress, and we're not getting the job done there. So we put the defense in a bad spot. I thought we limited their explosives throughout that day, except for the one before halftime that resulted in points for them. So, and then, you know, out of halftime, I thought we had some chances, and we just couldn't stop them. But beyond those 2 drives, I thought the defense played some of the best ball we played all year.
You guys took the ball to start the game, so they got it back after the half. You guys been getting out pretty early in these first quarters, and the Saints were struggling defensively in the first quarter coming into this game. Was that kind of the thinking? It didn't really play out that way. Was that the thinking when you took it?
No, it's weather related. You know, it's a windy day, so I want to be able to control in the second half which way we're going.
How do you view the overall trajectory offensively through 6 games now?
Good question. Great question.
Yeah, up and down. So that's what we've looked like. We haven't hit our stride yet offensively. We're capable of a lot more. We have very talented individuals. I feel strongly in our coaching staff, but we're not complementing our defense on a regular basis. With the number of turnovers we've had over the last 4 games, we should be able to turn those into more points.
What has to click? What are you seeing that if this clicks, it'll level out? It'll be a lot smoother?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things, and so that's something we'll look at on the tape and see what we got to clean up. You know, we still have the false starts. You know, the good thing was the running game was working. The passing game wasn't nearly efficient enough for us here today.
You just said
Dennis downplayed the significance of facing his former team today. But from your perspective, what's your appreciation for 4 turnovers, the defense doing what it did, and Dennis's unit being part of the win?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly led the charge there. We don't win that game if they don't play that well. They just did an outstanding job, and you know, I kind of felt it over the course of the week there with the 2 practices that we were able to get in. That schematically, he had some really good thoughts that we're going to put some stress there on the offense, and you know, I thought that the defense they knew where to be, they knew what they were looking for, and it was huge.
Then before seeing the tape, how do you sense that Caleb played just from experience?
Yeah, hard to say off the cuff. You know, you just go off the numbers, and you know, like I said, we weren't efficient enough in the passing game, so we'll see why that was.
Go ahead, Jason. When you see him scrambling around quite a bit in the pocket, is that what you want him doing in those situations, those 10 to 12 second plays, or do you need?
Give me 1 second, y'all. I got to fix that. Something crazy was going on with that. Well, yeah, that's their background tweaking right now. That ain't me. Hold on. I'll play it if y'all want me to play it. Hold on.
For those today than what I've normally felt. So we'll see what was the reason why and what can we do better. But you know, the broken down plays in general through 6 games, I don't think it's given us the yardage that we would like.
Had a pretty significant challenge that you won there. What was the process?
When the play breaks down, they haven't generated the type of production that you would like. That's very interesting for him to say that, man.
Oh, there you go. They fixed it, y'all. I'm about to put it back up there. Hold on.
That's very interesting.
All avenues.
And we've talked about DeAndre in recent weeks. As a coach, how satisfying is it for you to see a guy like
We're doing something funky with the coloring.
head down effort that he gives you?
Yeah, I think that's all of our guys. You just keep going back to work. When things go your way, you go back to work. When things are hard, you go back to work. That's really the answer for everything, and that's what we're going to continue to do as a team. But to your point, Swifty has done a great job here these last 2 weeks. we're at the point of the season now where no one feels 100% anymore, and that's what it's going to be the rest of the way. None of those guys feel great. Their bodies don't feel good. And yet you still show up and you find a way to be there for your teammate next to you. And Swifty certainly exemplifies that.
And was Grady Jarrett close today, or what went into that decision?
We'll see. We got him back there in practice. That was Friday, right? And so we'll see what it looks like next week in terms of his availability for next Sunday.
But why not today?
Because he wasn't ready.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, man. He said pretty much a lot of the things we said, man. CJ, man, did you see anything that was shocking that he said that we didn't say either in the pregame or what we actually saw with our own eyes? Anything? Your mic, CJ, you muted.
No, not really. I think he said a lot of things that we were covering and saying.
Here come on. What's the name up here? Hold on.
Yards. Now it seems you all have broken that open and are finding lanes everywhere.
DeAndre Swift. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
Difference
Appreciate you,
for the
bro.
running game being so effective now.
I would say we clicking up.
Thanks, Nicholas, man. We appreciate you
Doing a
coming in
great
here,
job
bro.
on the
Stay in here
perimeter.
as long as you can, man.
Hats off to them guys up front, the receivers. I can't say that enough. And then if they do their jobs up front, we get a little bit of space as the backs and everybody in our room. We're gonna make something happen after that. So I just feel like we've been doing a better job this week and past week. Just clicking on all cylinders on our jobs.
How do you explain how it's clicked the way it has the last 2 games?
Yeah, everybody just doing their job. That's really what I can say. The most thing that I've noticed. The first 3 games, it was kind of like we was off somewhere, whether it be mic points or anything like that. Like we just doing a better job of being, I would say, focused on the details. You know what I mean?
What was Ben's message after the game, but understanding that it's a win, but it's also some red zone stops and penalties and those details that he's pointing it on?
We have yet to play clean football for 4 quarters offensively. So I can't wait to see what that looks like, especially when our defense is playing how they've been playing.
Yeah, how many times have we heard this,
We're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, making games closer than what needs to be.
Should still be having these press conferences.
What was it like to watch them the way they're hitting today?
Yeah, it's amazing. They've been like that since the first week. They've been the energy for us, I would say. We got to do a better job of feeding off the momentum that they're giving us, and then play better complementary football. When they getting takeaways, we got to go get 7. That should be our mindset moving forward.
Andre, even on some of your longer runs the last couple of weeks, they've been plays where you hit the hole at the line, where you were just really running through where it was open between the tackles. Are you finding it to be a different situation running behind this offensive line than what you had before?
I just say they're doing a great job. I'm just keep saying that they're doing a great job up front. Been doing a great job of calling it throughout the whole game. All 10 other people on the field are doing their job. When they're doing their job, I got to do mine. That's how we're going to continue to succeed.
Andre, your touchdown, what did you see on that particular run?
Kind of pressed the line of scrimmage, saw space, cut it back. I got to see exactly. I think somebody tried to get my ankles and things like that. But it was close. Made it happen. Made a good play.
Came after the takeaways.
Yeah.
Converted.
That was one of the times we did a good job.
Did the Vikings
I
lose?
don't know what happened on the
Anybody?
other day.
Yeah, 88 people. Did the Vikings lose?
I knew
Yeah.
we
They did?
AJ
So,
Brown caught the
gotta find a
bomb
way to
and
get
they
touchdown.
needed to burn the
Is that
clock
an
out.
ideal split for you guys today with you and Kyle?
I'm not the coach.
I said I'm not the coach.
Take some of it off.
Yeah, I mean, he had a hell of a game. Like I said, when O-line is doing what they're doing, the receivers blocking, everybody in our room should have a phenomenal day.
Physically, DeAndre, how do you get yourself ready when you're on the injury report, you're battling some things, and just getting
I'm sticking to my routine and then being my best when my best was needed.
all good?
Yeah, we'll go one. Yeah.
Man, oh man, that was DeAndre Swift, man, the bell cow, man, the guy with the run game, keeping us in the game, the lead back, so to speak, man. I don't know, man. He played a good game, bro. We needed him to. We needed him to play good, man. Bill Johnson, as I could tell, he's frustrated, like Shaw said, man. We got to put up 6 points, man. I was looking for one drive for what Caleb would just drove us up the field with his arm to Rome Odunze. Or DJ Moore touchdown. You know, it's getting to the point to where the excuses are not holding the weight no more. You got DJ, you got Rome, you got Luther, you have everybody to make. Come on, man, you getting great field.
And there seemed like there was room in front of you. For you or your vantage point, what determines whether you take off and run or
I like his jacket though. That jacket raw.
and downfield?
He can draft.
Man, he got an Advocate Healthcare jacket on.
I think it just comes down to understanding the situation. I think it also comes down to being able to
They can't see you.
get our players an explosive ball. If we complete the passes that I missed about 5 or 6, I think, on the run, which is extremely frustrating for me.
It's too damn many, boy.
Especially just kind of how my name
Much hero ball.
for past couple of years of my career, and I think if I hit those, nothing said. But it's just being able to understand in those situations that even if I'm not hitting or anything like that, how a QB run in those situations where maybe the defense calls a good call or a perfect call or whatever the case may be, the QB takes off and gets positive yards. I think I've done a good job with that so far this year. I think today I did not, and so just being able to learn from it and move on.
Do you have any sense?
Oh, man, bro.
I think guys got open.
What did he talk about?
and I think I missed. I think that's what it boils down to. And then other than that, it's just being able to have have it on my conscience that I can help this team not only by scrambling and delivering a good ball to receivers, which I didn't do that well today, and is also understanding that I can run and hurt a team with my legs.
Team in the locker room seems to be a great place to be at 4-2.
Yes.
Room for improvement. How do you
Absolutely
put those two things together and build a mindset?
Yeah, think about it. We threw an interception today, and defense had 4 turnovers, 4 sacks. I threw an interception. I didn't play well today, and then the offensive line, pushes us through. DeAndre Swift and the backs push us through for 200-plus yards on ground. And so it's being able to find ways to win is what we've been able to do, and we're going to keep doing that. But it's also being able to find ways to come together as one, that when defense has a turnover, we go down and put 7 on the board, not a field goal. And that accounts for me. That accounts for all of us on offense. That accounts for just everything overall. And so it's just being able to execute the plays that are called. It's being able to, when you have those moments for explosive plays, we connect on them. I deliver a good ball, or offensive line does a good job and of blocking up, and the backs hitting the hole and having explosible plays. So I think overall there's a lot of growth that can be had, and it's insane to think that, and we're 4-2. About how much growth we have left, myself included, and like I said before, we want to hit the ground running at the right time, where we're all hitting on all cylinders. Defense is playing, great, and I want to, have them have their back, and just like they have ours, and we want to keep that rolling.
How frustrating is it to see the pre-snap penalties and there's some center snap exchange problems? Drew took blame for that.
Yep.
Tough to see that kind of return today.
Yeah, it's frustrating because it's the pre-snap stuff, the center QC exchange. It is frustrating just because we put so much time and energy into it. But I wouldn't say I put that on Drew or anybody. I can take that blame just because it comes down to cadence. It comes down to everybody being on one page and having everybody calm and understanding. We're going to go execute this play, and we just need to snap the ball at the right time.
Everybody calm. I know you're not up there talking about nobody staying calm.
And,
I know you're not.
That comes down to communication. That comes down to knowing what we have to do. That comes down to the cadence at the end of the day. And so I can always help in those situations, and we'll be better with that coming forth.
How do you handle the progress being kind of up and down?
Mm-hmm.
Like it to be linear and just progressively steps forward. How do you deal with step forward, step back?
Yep.
Game like today.
Yeah. You're saying for myself or offense? What are you saying?
Either one. Which one do you want to answer?
I'll go for myself. Days like today, I would say, are needed, just in the sense of it gives you a little bit more to be able to look back on something and figure out what. So that's important.
That's not the answer I wanted to hear.
And so you have these moments, and you get later in the season, and you may start to have one of these moments, and you get to go back to the feeling, go back to what was wrong, and what you need to figure out early in the season, And so now, when we're late in the season, it's like, okay, I remember, how can I fix it? It's more of a solution-based, thing instead of it being like, what's the issue? And so right now we're going to go back. I'm going to go look at the film and figure out, and I am going to figure this out, especially with, some of these explosive plays, some of these, mainly talking about the on-the-run stuff. And I haven't been efficient with those. I haven't been hitting them, and it's frustrating. And so I'm going to, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure it out. When we start hitting on those cylinders, where we start having some of these explosive plays, especially, when the play breaks and it turns into our second play, it's going to be, real devastating to the other side. So we're going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And then other than that, it just comes down to the basics.
3 times in a
Feet,
row.
eyes, delivering a good ball to the guys. And then it comes down to, like I said before, communication and make sure everybody's on the same page and, we're rolling off the ball.
In your life, high school, college, pros, have you ever had a game like this where you weren't particularly prolific and your team still won?
I can't necessarily off the top of my head name the game, but yeah, there's been games where, I may not have had my best game, and maybe ran the ball. I think there was a game where we ran the ball for around 200 yards and I had 100-something yards passing and maybe one touchdown, and you're just as excited. I mean the progress that we've had overall on offense, especially coming off these past 2 weeks of being able to run the damn ball, as every offensive line wants to do and says.
Man, it's like a politician right now.
There are things that I can be better at. There are things that I'm going to be better at. There are things that weren't hitting today, and you just have those days sometime. And it's nice that we have a defense, we have a special teams, a punter, or whatever you want to say, kicker, that can put us ahead, that can help us win games, a run game that can, control the game. And so, we get this figured out on my side. We'll be putting up a lot of points to be very dangerous.
Caleb, back up to the loss in Detroit. You said an optimistic tone saying that we got 15 games left, and sensibly, you won 4 straight sits. What's the feeling for you now at 4-2 and looking ahead to what can come here?
Yeah, belief. Still, it's confidence. It's belief. It's living in the know, the known.
This smile is killing me.
The feeling of myself this year, in the sense of
smile, man.
When we have games, when we're going through the game plan, when we get to the end of the week, it's more of a feeling of we know we're going to win. And that's not always going to be the case, but the feeling of it is different than maybe or we got to go out here and play a perfect game or anything like that. It's living in the known of the feeling of we're going to come out here and win the game. And obviously a lot of things have to go right, and we got to execute, and we got to communication, all these different things. Defense has played well, offense has played well, special teams, all 3 sides of the ball, but living in the known is kind of where we're at. Even when we were 0-2, we were still living in the known that we're going to, fight back, and, we're going to be 2-2, and then we'll go 3-2, and then we'll be 4-2. And so it's living in the known. We have to, do things throughout the week, hard work, stand late, do all the right things. But living in the known is where we're living, and, we got to stay there. We got to keep being consistent. We got to, hold each other accountable. We got to do the right things to be able to stay consistent and be the team we want to be.
What's your interpretation?
Yeah, on his ass, they will not let him off this podium.
Yeah, I think it's come down to one mentality. I think the other one is the way the coaches have been able to help us on the offense and things like that, of shifts and motions and things like that. When you start shifting in motion and you have crisscross when the ball is snapped, also it affects defenses, and it puts people out of place so that it can help with double teams or triple teams or getting up to the second level. And when you start getting up to the second level, like I said last week, and we got the backs that we have and things like that, you start seeing big creases and real explosive positive runs, and that only helps us. We got to keep that rolling, and we got to get the other half going again.
Yeah, like 4-2 compared to last year's 4-2.
Yeah. I think I would say similar in a way, obviously, just because you're 4-2 and you got things rolling. But I think at this moment, I think what I said recently or just a minute ago is the living in the known of if we do the right things throughout the week, if we practice the right ways, if we If we do enough studying, if we watch enough film, if we do all the right things, we got the coaches, we got the players, we got the belief in each other, coaches, everybody.
I didn't want to talk about Caleb at the beginning of the show. I had the graphic of Dennis Allen up there, man. I want to talk about his defense, Tremaine Edmonds, guys stopping the run game, guys getting interceptions, Bayard. I want to talk about the defense because they were a bright spot. But, Caleb is the quarterback of the team, bro. So he didn't have a good game. But I just want your overall thoughts, man, on anything you want to talk about. The defense, Caleb Williams, anything, man.
And he's holding the ball out there like a loaf of bread for whatever reason. And Montez Sweat with his hustle comes through.
Hold on, what's going on? But first, thanks for having me, bro. Fellas. My thoughts of the game is, hey, we got 4 wins in a row. Obviously, Caleb Williams was not good today. But I think that this is a good learning moment for him and also a learning moment for Ben Johnson as well. Ben Johnson, your running game has been successful over the last 2 weeks. And when you see your quarterback struggling, you got to go ahead and pivot. And I think that's kind of like what we saw in that second half of the game, a good pivot into, all right, man, we ain't finna go out there and risk this game. We're going to run the rock. I think that when it comes for Caleb Williams, when it comes to the success of him, this is what we got to expect, at least for right now. Some steps forward and then maybe a step or 2 back, because this definitely was a step back in a way. But I think that
elaborate. How was the step backs? Can you elaborate?
Because you seen Caleb Williams staring down receivers today. You didn't see Caleb Williams working through his progressions today, like we've seen over the last few weeks. Even when we seen like a bad game, you still saw Caleb Williams going through his progression. On the interception that he threw, he stared Rome Odunze down. That. And then also Caleb Williams talk about the efficiency when he's out of the pocket. I agree with that, because you threw to the left sideline
he threw to the left
bullet. And that's when one of the Saints DBs got hurt, and it was 3 people right there, 1 Bears player, 2 Saints players. And then on the comeback route to where he was rolling out to the right, he was telling Luther Burden to come through. You threw it at his feet. So you gotta be more better than that. And I think the reason I pointed out Ben Johnson, that this is gonna be a learning experience for him too, because at the end of the first half, you get the ball back with like 1 minute and 49 seconds. Why would you throw the ball? Like at least to start that drive. To start that drive, we want to get this clock rolling, because we know they coming out of half and getting the ball. We want to make sure they don't put up no points before we go into the locker room. If you are going to pass, because you're not going to, not pass, you got to get the clock rolling. First down, we running the ball, clock ticking, tick, 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 tick. Then you can go out there and throw your passes. But not a good game for Caleb Williams, but definitely a really, really good game for the defense. And over the last 2 weeks, they shut down the number 1 pass and a rushing attack in the Commanders, and they shut down Alvin Kamara and those guys today for less than, I think it was only like 3 yards a carry. We will take that.
We will take that. Yeah. Just well said by Bobby, man. Pretty much came in here with the summary and everything like that. So do you have any concerns about Caleb Williams just going forward, man? Like, we got to be honest about what we're seeing. Like, is this teachable for him to be more accurate with the football? Is this something that what is he's not seeing? Is this a choice? Because at some point, what else can Ben Johnson or any quarterback or any play caller can say to you? Like, we setting this table for you to deliver the stripes, to deliver the football. So are you concerned about his overall accuracy going forward in his career right now? After 23 games? I don't even think he's had 30 games as a pro.
No, he hasn't played 30 games yet. But
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I ain't concerned, bro. I think that right now I will start to get concerned once we hit November. Right now, when the season started, I said we got to give it time to see this offense click. But speaking with some of like the older heads and talking to some of the actual football guys that I had the opportunity to sit down with, they say it takes a year to really master this system. But it does not. This still doesn't say we can't critique Caleb, but it does say that there's going to be some bumps and bruises, because success is not linear in this league. And you just hope that he putting in the work like he say he is, and understanding that he has to be better, bro. Sometimes you got to take what the defense is giving you. Patrick Mahomes, he's the greatest in the league right now. He had to understand every shot down the field can't be a home run. I got to take what the defense is giving me, even if I'm checking down for majority of the drive. Who cares? Who cares what they saying? He's a check down merchant. Who cares?
Who cares? I don't.
You know what I'm saying? We just want you to give the ball to your playmakers and let them do stuff. That's why you got all these playmakers around you.
Yeah, man. And Shad, if you want to piggyback or CJ piggyback on anything that Bobby said, but the run game has been our saving grace, man, and has DeAndre Swift, man, because a lot of people pretty much wrote him off, man. You know, myself included. But it's something about what he's been able to do these last couple of games, specifically back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. And he's pretty much controlling the defensive line. He's pretty much seeing the holes. He's getting there. He got bursts. So the fact that he's able to be what we need him to be, he's been a revelation to me. So just what's your thoughts on the run game with DeAndre Swift at this moment in time, man?
Man, let's back up for a minute. My evaluation of DeAndre Swift is not going to change after 2 weeks. He's an average running back in the NFL when you look at starters. Because Monunga came in and got 81 behind the same offensive line. And this is 2 weeks running that Monunga has looked just as good as Swift has behind this O-line. I think as we talked about several weeks ago, even before the bye week, this offensive line, if it was the right combination of guys, is going to start to materialize as the year goes on. We starting to see it pick up because it's a little bit lighter in the schedule in terms of run defenses. And even though Washington had some guys that you can game plan against, they weren't walking into that game an absolute phenom against run stopping. Okay, and you look at what you just saw against the Saints, maybe one of the bottom third defenses in terms of run defenses. So,
gotcha.
I'm giving credit to the O-line and the commitment from Ben Johnson to accept that his passing game ain't working. So you got to force feed the run right now. And he's keeping the good plays in. If you notice, he repeated on several possessions the same runs. He changed the formations, but he's running the same shit. So that's identifying, what's working. We're gonna roll with it, and we're gonna accept the fruit from that labor. Touching on the pass game, though, the maturation is easy if you believe in what the vision is. The special comes with the off-script plays, or when you have to break pocket, or if that third read's not there. And for him not to admit that, right there, given an opportunity, that's kind of got me feeling some type of way about 18 right now.
Okay.
You had an opportunity to take full accountability, saying our passing game is dog shit because of me right now.
Right.
I'm going to eat the inefficiency for the fact that I can't wait till everybody talks about the all 22 and the 11 incompletions he had, and I want to see what the justification will be on why they even occurred. Look, man, his temperament has to change, man. He has to understand the moment. And as the years go on, as being a Chicago quarterback is different than any other market, brother. You're going to have to adapt to your settings. And his behavior, to me, doesn't seem to be changing, even with Ben Johnson being the head coach. Because he went to real quarterback one-on-one speak once he got asked a real question or got pressed on his performance in terms of pass game. So I don't want the radars to be up, but that's what I'm feeling right now, man.
Bobby, do you feel like that? Like, Caleb Williams and his temperament changes a lot. Like, if there's anything that I've seen from Caleb, and it's not necessarily something that's physical, it's more mental to me. And I'm just concerned about, is this something that's fixable? Like, he's too jittery, he's too anxietized. Because one, Bobby, you're at home. Your defense is cooking. Your run game is working. Everything is working in your favor. It's like 4 positive things that's working in your favor, and you can't come through on the basic things. That screams loud to me. Like, people can say it takes a year and all of this. I get all of that, but I don't know if Caleb is capable of understanding that you have to play instruction, like you said, Bob. You have to become check down merchant, man. You got to do it. They know you can throw the ball up the field. Yeah, they know you're pretty good at intermediate throws. But bro, you can't get frustrated immediately when the game is not going into your favor. I watched this whole game, bro, and I saw everything work in this young man's favor today, bro. And he did not deliver one really, really, really good drive to put us in. I mean, I ain't gonna say he put us in score position. He did put us in score position to get field goals. But Bobby, his personality and his temperament, man, and just getting unraveled is something that's really concerning me, man. I don't know if I'm off base with that, Bobby. Have you seen that from him at all? Just him being our quarterback as long as he's been for almost 2 years?
I think there's some validity in it. Me personally, I like I didn't see the entire press conference, but I like the press conference of pretty much him saying like it's on me. I have to get better. I got to get in the lab. But I said this on my show, and I said that, and this is gonna be in support of what you saying, G Walk, and you might be able to, connect the dots of what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams for me seems like he allowed events to affect how he approaches the game. And to all y'all point, we gotta have a different set of expectations for what Shad said, like that setting to lock in pretty much. And what I'm getting by is we seen how we lost to the Commanders last year. You getting a rematch versus Jaden Daniels. We know last year was the biggest thing in the NFL, damn near the whole season. Right. You see, he played better versus the Commanders than this game, but you can still see that he was off. Now, after that game, you get in there a little spat with Troy Aikman, and now you feel like you have to approach this game as I gotta go off. No, you don't have to go off, because if you simply just do your damn job, trust your receivers, trust your protection, go through your progression. Y'all supposed to have 35 points right now. Literally in the first half, that was supposed to be what? 28-0 if we keeping it a buck. Like so I think it's just more so locking down. I don't have a problem with him showing passion, but I think that sometimes based on the event that comes before the game, you know what I'm saying, or the expectation of trying to keep receipts entering the game, you can kind of see he gets a little off balance. Let's try to find some balance on how you're supposed to operate as the Chicago Bears coach. But I'm not concerned for the future, at least right now. I'm going to give it a little bit more time and allow myself to have a little bit more patience. But he understands he needs to be better.
Can I ask something real quick to keep this going, G?
Please, man. Take your time, bro.
Feel free to answer, whoever want to answer. Romo Doomsday had 6 targets today, 2 completions on those 2. That's a problem for me. Does that bother anybody else? Because to me, that's supposed to be one of the foundational components of your offense. And at home again, after a big win, them having that type of performance, and even I know penalties brought some of that back, but 6 targets, 2 catches for Rome, man. Is that not a problem, bro?
I could get Rome. He dropped a major 3rd down catch though. That's one. But to your point, it's not a lot of targets. To your point, but he did drop some opportunities today. And Rome.
I mean, it's frustrating. I'm with you though, Shad. It's frustrating because if I'm the coach, then I'm saying this is my most talented wide receiver. This is my most physical wide receiver. This is my most talented wide receiver. Probably nobody in the NFL at this point, I ain't gonna say can stick him one-on-one, but he deserves way more targets than what he's getting. Like way more. Because you could say the run game is working. Okay, Luther Burden might not be hitting right now, or Cole Kmet, but Caleb and Rome needs to be the go-to when things get sticky, man. And I don't think we've seen enough of that today. To your point, I don't think we saw enough of it. I don't know, Ben Johnson, he likes to spread the ball around to different people and get Caleb, targets to other different people. That's fine, CJ. But I think you got to go with what works, man. I think Rome should have at least 13, 14 targets a game. You know what I mean? See, there's the most physical, talented we got. He can beat you intermediate, deep, or whatever. He can do it, right?
Yeah, I seen more of a connection when they were practicing, earlier, before the game started. I know they're trying to emphasize that, but we really didn't see in this game I don't know if Caleb was rattled. I don't know what was wrong with him. But he got to figure it out because the Bears cannot go through the season winning games like this. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I'm telling y'all right now.
Hey, hold on, and we got some comments. Shout out to Jason. He's saying 4 wins in a row. Feels amazing. He retweeted the stream. Appreciate that. Isabella says, he's forcing the ball to roam sometimes, though. That's how he got picked. That's true. But, Bobby, we're going to talk about this defense, man. This defense right here, Bobby. This defense right here. Bruh, they are coming along so good, man. They're coming along so good, Bobby. The Tremaine Edmonds today, the sack fumble by Montez Sweat, man. The interception by Bayard, the sack by Jaquan Brisker, the sack by Kyler Gordon. Like, they're operating as a system and as a unit. They understood. And I said this in the pregame show, and I was like, and I got the wrong damn coach up here. Y'all should have told me that, dumbass. I said in the pregame show that there's no way that Spencer Rattler was completing 70% of his pass. And I said, Dennis Allen gonna make that motherfucker say, show me why you completing 70% of your passes, Spencer Rattler, because that did not happen today.
Facts.
They was on his ass all game, Bobby. I think Dennis Allen took that personal, boy. I think he told that whole team, not on us. He not completing those 70% passes on us. So, Bobby, just what is Dennis Allen doing at this point to where he got this defense just rocking and rolling? No matter who we up against, we getting takeaways every game, putting the offense position to score 6 every game. What do you think Dennis Allen is doing, Bobby, outside of having a consistent pass rush? Because this was the first game where we saw Brisker coming down. We saw Kyler come down a little bit more. Just what are your thoughts on Dennis Allen so far, man, and how he's pretty much putting the defense in front of the offense right now, man?
He's showing us why he was once a head coach in his league. His defenses are really, really good. He's also showing me that he can get the best out of his players. When TJ Edwards was down, we like, who the hell is this Noah Sewell kid that we drafted a few years ago that suddenly can play football and make impactful plays? Then you see Dominique Robinson, G. Walker, is tied in sacks for the team.
D-Rob.
To lead the team. We thought, bro, I'm pretty sure it's not a Bears fan out there that was like, man, when cuts come, Dominique Robinson gone. No,
he was gone to me.
Exactly. And to me too. Dennis Allen said, no, I can work with him. And he's been playing well. Yep. And the man we are paying so much money at the linebacker spot in Tremaine Edmonds is playing like a Pro Bowler this season.
Out of his mind, bro.
This is the best I ever seen him in the Chicago Bears uniform. And then Tyreek Stevenson goes down this game. Blackwell comes in and fit right in. JJ goes down. Nashawn Wright, even though he give us headaches and we cussing at the TV because he did something stupid, he tends to bounce back and make impactful plays. And Kevin Bayard, the old man, the old head, is also having an all-pro season, a Pro Bowl season as well. This is a guy that's getting the best out of the talent that he has. And finally, it seems like Montez Sweat, at least for 2 weeks now, is finally hit the alarm clock and woke the fuck up. We'll see.
Man, well said, Shad. Like Shad, the defense, man. I think we can play this way all season. I think we got something with this defense, Shad, and because who we got next week, Bobby? I know you know.
Baltimore.
Be more, man. So out for this win, if I'm the defense, Shad, and we just dominated how we did today, your confidence going up against is Lamar still hurt?
I believe he's going to play next week.
He might be healthy to go next week.
Against us, he will. But this is the game, Shad, where you want your edge in Montez 2 weeks in a row. You know what I mean? Your safeties and your corners doing their thing, man. So we coming in next week against Baltimore. You got to be confident as a defense, right?
I think Dennis Allen has had this defense prepared for every offense they've seen this year. They did a good job taking away each offense's primary mode of operatus, meaning they've taken away a #1 rush offense last week in Washington. You can go all the way back to them putting the handcuffs on CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys. Turnover started then. So
Yeah.
I think what he's done, man, uniquely is use that secondary and their talent that they got on that back seven to really cause a lot of problems when teams have to pass, and that shit has generated turnovers. And we've been able to get by with no pass rush until, as you say, Montez started to sweat. You know, so hopefully I think it's not him burning out. I think it's the rotation around him is also performing at a higher level. So he's seeing different opportunities to be able to win some one-on-ones, and he's cashing out. Speaking of cashing out, we got to start giving some respect to the boy Brisker. He's a different team defensively when Brisker is on the field.
That's true.
And when you can utilize him in different ways, whether it's through the slot, bringing pressure, man, I think Dennis Allen knows how to use all the tools in the toolbox, Bobby. And, man, I don't see how he can't scheme up any offense in the league this year, looking at the rest of the schedule. I feel real confident.
Hey, they took a sack away from Brisker today, and it was bogus.
And that was one of the most egregious, man, that was dog shit.
Bro.
That was bullshit, man. So, I don't know, man. We got a comment from Isabella. She says, you know, after the first couple of games, everybody was talking about let's get rid of Edmonds. He must have heard that because since he's been lights out, and yeah, you and Isabella, we've all been on Edmonds the most. Allen calls him a nickel linebacker, all type of shit, man. So the fact that he's playing this way lets you know that coaching does matter, CJ. Coaching is everything. Scheme is everything. And it's a good thing to have him out there being an all-pro or Pro Bowler type of linebacker, man. So somebody spoke on the linebackers today in the pregame show that they pretty much had to be on point today. CJ, I think that was you, right? Wasn't it you?
You muted.
I think Allen the one that said that the linebackers will have a big day, but CJ talked about them too.
Oh, it was CJ. Yeah, man, y'all pretty much called it on that, man. And kudos to y'all, man. So with that being said, man, this can pretty much end the post-game show. Unless anybody got something y'all want to talk about, man, anything I missed, anything is concerning to y'all. I mean, anything at this point, man. Like, you know, anybody got anything to say before we share our final thoughts? Or we just get straight to the final thoughts, man.
Did Moody get another 4 field goal game?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm being for real. Did Moody get another 4 field? Okay,
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Bye-bye, Cairo. Bye-bye.
Damn.
Have a good one, Cairo. It's been fun. Take your thighs down to TJ Maxx, brother. Appreciate
Get the
fuck on. Zip his ass up for me, Bobby. I don't need it no more, bro.
Yeah, man. We can just start. Go ahead, Shot.
We got a new mood, G.
He kicking that bitch on point. Look, we found that mog at a Subway across the street, off the street, and just signed him to the team.
He talking about at the Subway.
Found him at the Subway, man. It got Moody, man. But I'll share my final thoughts. I'll go first, man. And I'll say this, man. And shout out to everybody that's came up in here, man. Isabella, Jason, Dinah, Liv, Nicholas came in here. But I'll share my final thoughts, man. And I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm happy with 4-2. Of course, I'm happy with 4-2. The defense is playing lights out. The run game is get a check off. The defense gets a check off. Special teams, the kicker, everything it seems to be getting there together, getting there at the right moments in time. The offense, Caleb Williams, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and call this man. I'm not ready to say I'm over him, which I'm not. But I need to see him at all the things Caleb Williams could be better at. If he's more under control, he'll be a 1,000 times better quarterback. 1,000, because you're not going to get a better scheme and play caller than Ben Johnson. So let's start there. You're not probably going to get a better number one target for a wide receiver than Roman Donze. Let's start there. You're not going to probably get a better second wide receiver in DJ Moore. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? Let's start there. Like, let's name out the people that we have on this team that are weapons, bro. If Caleb Williams will learn how to relax and understand and don't let the moment overcome him, we're going to see a totally different quarterback than Caleb Williams. And I think for me watching him from where he was from last year, college, he has an issue with letting the moment get to him and his mechanics begin to unravel, bro. Because there is no excuse for you not to give us one touchdown out of 4 turnovers, bro. At home. There's no excuse. So if I'm looking at him, everybody, all I'm saying is Caleb Williams, Don't let the moment overtake you, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. If you cannot be that going forward, I don't know if Caleb Williams will be the franchise quarterback to get that big extension from the Chicago Bears to lead us into the future. That's my final thoughts, man. With 4-2, I'm happy. Bring on Baltimore. Anybody else want to share their final thoughts, man? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna just say, hell, the biggest change for the defense I seen was the gap discipline, which is why I believe that's what's been helping that run game a lot. And I believe those edges, they're setting the edge pretty well. And now that Dennis Allen has his X factor and Kyler Gordon back, expect him to become screaming off that sideline more often than not in blitzes. And you also seen Jaquan Brisker get involved in that on the defensive side. For the offense, look, man, we can't work on the run game, get the run game right, and then take a step back with the pass game. So let's try our best to marry this whole thing up. G Walker, I'm not in panic mode right now. I honestly think that me personally, we gonna be good. Obviously, we've been wrong before. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the quarterbacks we've seen come through Chicago. But hey, let me just give it a little bit more time, and we're gonna see what's to it for sure. Because I believe in the coaching, and I believe that this Bears offense could really get going soon.
You know what, Bobby? And somebody shook me to my core in one of the chats. I mean, they said, "How the hell is our run game going and our pass game is ass?" I mean, that broke me down, bro. That broke me down. That took me.
We just flipped roles on offense. We was good. We wasn't great offensively passing the ball, but we was better than this. And now the running game is excellent, and the pass game takes two steps back. So you want to see it get better.
That hurt my feelings. So that hurt my feelings. You didn't have to say that. But it did, bro. That shook me. That was smart as hell to say that for real. Because I was like, damn, you right. Like, damn. I thought the run game opened up the pass game. And then for the fact that the run game was opening up the pass game, we got nothing from it today. Man, Caleb, bro, we gonna need you to calm down going forward, bro. That's the only knock I got on you, man. And it's a heavy knock because the quarterback got to be cool, calm, and collected to play this position, bro. And I hope that don't be the thing that knock you out of here, bro, for real. Because I think you got the arm. I think you can run with the football. You can do a lot, bro. But if you're not up here mentally, I don't know what it's going to take Caleb Williams, to be honest with you.
Is it fair to say that the way he played in the last 2 minutes of the game is how he need to approach the whole game? Because he got a good history of playing and bringing us back when we down and getting us in scoring position to win games. We just need that same type of mentality throughout the whole entire game.
He got to realize that he got to play survival football in the way it's like opposite. He wants to play react football a little bit too much, but somebody got to get in his head like, bro, every down matters. Every throw is not a rush. Every attempt is not you just going berserk and you just unraveling and hurrying up. It takes a lot of finesse and calm to be a starting NFL quarterback, man, and the one that he wants to be. How great he said he wants to be, bro. You got a lot of studying and a lot of patience that you got to learn. He's 23.
I think they reeled him back in that second half a little bit. Because I think the first pass was a check down to Cal Monanga. the first pass.
You got to do that. Somebody got to get him.
It was like, get your dumb ass over here. Calm down. Chill
Calm down, bro.
If it ain't there, check down. Let's go.
Right, and that's it, man, because somebody said the same thing, like, man, like, bro, just check the ball down. But CJ, what are your final thoughts on anything, man, before we get up out of here, man? Then I get shocking. End us out, man. What you got, C?
Man, Caleb just got to manage. He just got to manage the game better. He definitely going to have to do it against Baltimore, because I think Baltimore going to shut that run down. You know, if he managed the game better against Baltimore, I think the Bears will have a chance. Defense is playing lights out. I ain't got too much to say about the defense. You know, we just got to see a better game overall from the offense. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Because if Lamar Jackson come back and balling, and he's balling, he's gonna keep that Bears defense on the field. So Caleb gotta play better.
Agreed.
He gotta play better.
Agreed, because them boys ain't gonna get 3-4 turnovers every week.
No, they're not. They're not.
That's been helping us a lot. Them turnovers, Caleb ain't gonna have. It's gonna be a game the way ain't nobody turning the ball over. You gotta show up.
You got to show up. Let me get a couple of comments. Isabella Denshah, you can go with your final thoughts. She says, I mean, the special team, they don't get enough love as much as they produce for us. For sure.
I agree.
Also, on special team, we need a better kick returner. The kick returner ain't doing it.
Devin Duvernay.
He ain't doing shit. Devin doing shit. Devin Duvernay ain't doing shit.
They brought him in just to be a kick returner. I ain't seen him do it out there but
Bro,
twice during the season.
I be so mad when the ball don't go to the other side, the Luther Burden. I be like, God dang. Come on, man.
All right, Shad, you got it, bro. And this is schedule. If anybody wants to know the schedule, man, I put the schedule up here, man. This is what we're looking at. We play the Ravens, then we got the Bengals, then we got New York. Shad, man, what's your final thoughts, man? Then we're gonna end it, bro. We're going on an hour and 20 minutes.
Man, 2 tears in the bucket for the fact that our offense at home had a 200-yard rushing game. That's always going to get a tip of the beer for me. Defensively, stacked up another W based on turnovers, man. This makes you feel like Lovie Smith again. We talked enough about the quarterback in terms of nuances of what the expectations is, and I really don't want to get too far into it because I think it gets talked about too much, and I want the games to kind of let themselves play out. He has a matchup against an MVP next week and has an opportunity to have a higher performance than what he did this week because Spencer Rattler played better than him for 4 quarters today. Unfortunately, last week, outside of a fumble, Jaden Daniels outperformed Caleb Williams. So I would like to see him string along some games where he's the best quarterback on the field. I would like to see that.
That's not unreasonable. That's fair.
I would like to see that. But in terms of the overall identity, I think it's kind of writing itself. I think Monungai has established itself as a change of pace back, and him and Swift in combination should carry on the road and get him an opportunity to beat the shit out of a Ravens bad defense because they got so many injuries, specifically on their front seven. So if they can carry that run game up to Baltimore and get busy, then we might be looking at a nice little streak mid-season before the weather get real nasty.
Yeah. Well said, man. This has been a great post-game show. The Bears win. We're 4-2. Shout out for Bobby to come in here, man. He just came off his own show. So I really ain't got nothing else to say. I just want Caleb, man, really, bro, you got to lock in, dog, for real. For real, because I think this defense is going to continue to be what it is. And I don't want to continue to hit a narrative that we're winning in spite of our quarterback. That was not what you were drafted to do. That is not why a lot of people believe in you. That's not why I believe in you. So I'm going to need you to step up to the plate, bro, and take over this franchise the way a lot of people view you as, bro, because I'm saying some things as far as your personality and temperament and like, bro, lock in, Caleb, man. Like I ain't really got nothing else to say. I hope that's really one bad game you played like that, and we don't see that shit ever again. Ever again, bro. I don't want to see that from him ever again at all, man. Too damn talented for that, bro.
We might see it again.
We might see it again.
Every quarterback had them days. Damn. That shit was trash.
But Bobby, though, you can't see 11 missed completions and 175 yards at home against an average-ass defense again.
I understand, but I seen plenty of quarterbacks go out there and do the same damn thing. No excuses for him, though. He got to be better because this is a lesser team. You played down to the team you just went against, in my opinion. Got to be better, but the bad games will be in his future.
Bad games, yeah. But I just don't want to see this type of bad game. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this one. Not this. I can take two. I can take you throw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I can take you being ass for a whole first half and you come out and give us 14 points in the second half. I can take that. But what I can't take is you completely missing at home against a bad defense with your run game working, with your defense working, your kicking working. I'm not accepting that, bro. There's levels to being ass, bro. You damn near at the ass crack. Damn, bro. Right there. You right there between the legs.
No way.
All right, man. We're going to end this live, man. Look, my wife gave me a drink, and I'm starting to get a little bit too loose up in here, man. So,
all right, brother.
All right. We're going to see y'all probably next week on the pregame show, man. If not, man, shout out to Bobby, man, for pulling up. Shout out to Shad. Shout out to Alan. He's not here today. Shout out to CJ.
Yes, sir.
We out of here, man. God bless. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, man. Shout out to the
Peace, y'all.
Vikings getting their ass whooping. I hope
Love
Green Bay
that.
losing right now so we can get to at least the third spot in the division today.
Hit it.
We're number
Let's go.
2 in the division. Let's go.
We number 2?
Hey, as long as Detroit took that L.
Man, we finna see. I'm finna see right now, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all take it easy. We gone. Peace.
All right, peace, y'all.
Better.